One day at the Oreshkovo Air Base in Russia's Kaluga region, pilots found a bear cub left alone in the bushes during a routine inspection. They weren't sure what had happened to this small brown cub, but the pilots had a guess. It was likely that the cub's mother had been killed by hunters in the area. In this situation, the cub had virtually no chance of survival. Understanding that they couldn't abandon this innocent creature, the pilots decided to adopt him. This decision marked just the beginning of an incredible and touching story. The pilots named this adorable cub Mansour. From his earliest days at the airbase, Mansour had captured everyone's hearts. Waking and falling asleep to the sounds of aircraft, Mansour felt like he was in a playground and loved exploring the airbase. He saw every corner as an adventure, as he wandered around staircases, hangars, and planes. As the pilots and ground crew watched his playful antics, Mansour's joy spread across the entire base. Within this loving environment, a special bond developed between Mansour and pilot Andrei Ivanov. Andrei had practically adopted Mansour as his own child, bringing him food, playing with him, and caring for him. Mansour reciprocated this attention with a deep affection and trust toward Andrei. Mansour's playful antics and endearing behavior quickly made him the base's mascot. His fascination with aircraft cockpits was particularly noteworthy. While the pilots performed aircraft maintenance, Mansour would watch them curiously and occasionally hop into cockpits and sit in the pilot seats. This adorable bear had a big family who loved and played with him. One pilot's husky became his best playmate. Over time, Mansour grew up, and when it was time for him to return to his natural habitat, it was a tough decision for Andrei and the other pilots. After discussions with the Ministry of the Environment, they found a rehabilitation center where Mansour could receive the training needed to survive in the wild. At the center, he would be secure and learn to survive in the wild. Mansour had lived with humans for so long that he had lost his basic survival instincts. However, no one knew that this center would turn into a nightmare. The officials from the center put him in a cage and took him away. Although Andrei and his friends weren't comfortable with these men, they had no other option. Days later, Andrei wanted to see Mansour again, but the center refused. When he investigated further, he made a shocking discovery. The facility that accepted Mansour was not a nature conservation center, but a hunting training center that used wild animals like bears as bait for hunting dogs, chaining them up. Andrei and the other pilots couldn't remain silent. They immediately took action and went to the center to rescue Mansour. Mansour was frantically pacing back and forth in a cage, roaring and screaming. The moment he saw Andrei, he calmed down. When the cage was opened and the two friends reunited, the scene was heartwarming. Mansour was in poor shape, his fur was dirty and had started to fall out in places. Andrei decided to take him home and never let him go again. To take better care of Mansour, Andrei sought education on animal psychology and care for bears living outside their natural habitat. He wanted to build a larger living space for Mansour, but lacked the funds. So he shared the situation on social media and asked for help. People quickly became interested and began donating. With the public's generosity, they built a large enclosure at the airbase that offered Mansour ample space in a natural-like environment. Mansour loved his new home. He and Andrei were spending more time together, and they were inseparable. Gradually, Mansour began to heal. His wounds closed, and his fur returned to its former state. Andrei was taking excellent care of him, and they were together day and night. Now Mansour weighs over 200 kilograms and stands 1.8 meters tall. He eats around 20 kilograms of food daily. According to Andrei, although he is a wild animal, he never shows aggression. Even when he's sick, hungry, stressed, or excited, he remains calm and never exhibits aggressive behavior. However, according to Andrei, if you care for a bear, you must be mentally and emotionally strong and ensure it respects you. No matter what, you should never challenge or provoke it, as the consequences could be fatal. Despite being wild, Andrei and these kind people had given the bear a home and raised him with fatherly care, saving his life not once but twice, both as a cub and after he grew up. Mansour reciprocated this love and made it possible for this heartwarming story to be written. Please don't forget to like the video, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to the channel.